Hi everyone. It's Keith Matthias again, and in this short video, we are going to talk about the English 102 signature assignment and just kind of go through what the assignment is, what it's asking you to do, and just talk about it for a couple of minutes. Much like most signature assignments, and definitely the signature assignment for English 101, this is broken into two primary parts: the essay and the reflection. Let's take a little bit of a closer look at this document here. So, for this essay, for this project, you're going to be writing a well-organized literary analysis, identifying a tradition, a cultural assumption, a socioeconomic circumstance, or a belief system that shapes the character's experience or identity. This tradition, cultural assumption must, socioeconomic circumstances, belief system, it must operate obviously within the work of literature that you've chosen. Basically, what that means is you don't want to be really stretching for this project. You want the tradition, cultural assumption, socioeconomic circumstance to really be apparent, and you want to be able to really see what how it's focusing on or how it's functioning within the text and how it's affecting the character's identity or experiences. You're going to be doing a little bit of outside research for this project, so you will be supplementing your analysis with outside sources. This will help you deepen your understanding of the literary work and the author, the poet, the playwright, whoever wrote the text that you're analyzing. Remember, as you're doing this, that we need to maintain a focus on the world of the literature itself. Remember that these characters, they live and they function within a world of their own. And even though, a lot of what we read and what we write about reflects real world circumstances, it's not our world, So, if the literature does actually make reference to real world historical movements or belief systems, such as, here we go, Jim Crow laws or the suffragist movement, you can apply historical facts or expert opinions to the world of the literature. So if the text is making direct reference to a real world historical event or a belief system, then you can use stuff that's been written about that. Similarly, if the literature is closely informed by the author's life, you can use details from the author's biography to help you with your analysis. So, how long does it have to be? What do you have to do? This essay must be at least 1,500 words long, and it has to be presented in no fewer than 6 unified paragraphs. So again, we're very much moving beyond a 5-paragraph piece for this project. Your essay does have to have a thesis statement, must be thesis driven. This means that you're actually making a claim about the tradition, the cultural assumption, the socioeconomic circumstance, the belief system, how that operates within the story, and how it shapes a character's experiences or shapes a character's identity. In order to support this thesis statement, you're going to be using direct textual evidence from both your primary text, so this is the literature itself, and at least one secondary source. Present your essay in MLA style, both in layout and in source documentation. So that's just kind of a general overview. You're thinking about this project. Now you're doing your analysis. You're identifying your tradition, your cultural assumption, your socioeconomic circumstance, your belief system. You've identified that. You've started, thinking about things. You started formulating a thesis statement. You started doing a little bit of research. As far as the nitty-gritty details of this assignment are concerned, this is a very general overview. And one thing that I really want to emphasize here, and you can see that in this line and this line, is please check the assignment sheet that your professor has given you, because they may be asking for slightly different requirements. And you want to make sure that you're following the instructions that your specific instructor has given you. So it might look a little bit different than this. Your assignment prompt might look a little bit different from this, and that's okay. Just remember, pay attention to the instructions that you have been given. So at least 1,500 words, at least one secondary source, direct textual evidence from both primary and secondary sources. Make sure that you're citing everything with parenthetical citations, and make sure that you've got a works cited page. So let's move on to part 2, shall we? Here, you're doing some reflecting. You're thinking, what kinds of connections do you see between the topic that you explored in this essay and your own life experiences? Were you aware of these connections before you started completing this assignment, before you started working on this assignment? What aspects of your life experiences influenced how you understood and interpreted the story? And in what ways did your understanding evolve or change as you worked on the project? So you're really thinking about, what did I learn when I was, or as I was working on this project? Your reflection doesn't need to be super lengthy, 250 to 400 words, at least 5 paragraphs, and formatted in MLA style. We will be creating an assignment in Blackboard. It's titled Reflection Signature Assignment. It's going to be due in Blackboard, and it will be due 48 hours following the submission of the related essay. So you'll submit your essay, and then within 48 hours, you need to have the reflection turned in. And again, just to kind of distill down the reflection to a few key requirements, at least 250 to 400 words, at least 5 paragraphs, formatted in MLA style. So that's a pretty quick overview of what the signature assignment for English 102 is. Good luck.